What's going on, Richard Budget team? Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories, the series. Of course, we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United, and we have a little talk about it. And Leeds United have just dismantled Norwich 1-0. I say dismantled and 1-0, and you sat there scratching your head thinking 1-0 doesn't sound like a dismantled job to me, JT. Well, to me, it does, because we should have been 3, 4, 5, 6 to the good. We battered them today, and this is exactly what I've been saying all season, really. The gulf in quality between the Leedses, the Ipswich, the Southamptons, and the rest of the league is astonishing. I don't know how we've dropped this many points. Norwich are not a bad team. They're just about, scratching around, trying to get themselves to the playoffs. They looked awful. Awful today. There are a couple of moments near the end of the game where Leeds had completely, just sent everyone forward. We'd missed a few chances, and they had great opportunities for counterattacks, and they completely squandered everything, and they squandered it horrifically. They didn't have any real quality. They had a big chance at the end of the first half, completely p-rolled it wide. They didn't have any quality in their side today, Norwich. It was a really easy game. They didn't offer any kind of threat at all, really, to our goal. And Leeds had all of the joy, all of the time. And the fact that the game ended at 1-0, I find quite a bit disappointing, really. I mean, to be fair, it should have been at least 2, because the ref screwed us at the end there. We had a 3-on-0 scenario. Rutter had literally rounded their goalkeeper, running through to an open net at the halfway line, and they pulled it back to give a free kick. What are you playing at? That is a disgraceful decision, but nonetheless, I thought Leeds were confident. I thought we controlled the flow of the game. I thought the first half, we started off the first 15-20 minutes, we had a bit of energy. Beautiful goal by Bamford. The ball in by Dan James, by the way. Cracking ball. But the beautiful thing about Bamford's header is this, okay? It's very easy to score a header when there's a lot of pace on the ball, and when you're just guiding it, you're just flicking it. Say the cross is coming front post, you flick it back post, and you just use all of the pace of the ball and just guide it and direct it into the goal. What he's doing is completely different. Bamford is stepping back away from the ball to try and get himself to get behind the ball, because it's going behind him. And he's also heading it in the complete opposite direction. The pace had kind of dipped off the ball a little bit, and he has to use all of his neck strength to bolt the ball back in the opposite direction to get the pace on the header to get it away from the goalkeeper. And the way he managed to do that was phenomenal. Absolutely cracking header by Bamford. Beautiful goal to send us 1-0 to the good. Missed an overhead kick a couple of minutes after that, ironically. Big chance there, but cracking play by Bamford all round. The side, I thought, played well. Speaking of Dan James, ironically, you never believe this as well if you've been watching Leeds all year. We actually made a change at half-time. We made a change at half-time. He brought off Dan James, and he brought on Jadon Anthony. And Jadon Anthony today was really quite poor, if I'm being honest with you. He was really poor at times in his decision-making. But, having said that, I don't know why I said he was really quite poor. I was kind of got distracted by another thought in my head there. I take that back. He was poor in his decision-making, okay? He had a big chance where the ball came through to him, and he just completely blazed it over the bar. Not blazed it over the bar, it got deflected over the bar. But what he did, he didn't decide what he was going to do quick enough. The ball came through by Bamford. Granted, Bamford kind of sold him a little bit short with the way he delayed the pass to him. But nonetheless, the ball comes through from Bamford, and all he has to do is a quick touch and shot. But he doesn't see the defender behind him. Again, he takes the wrong decision. He tries to open his body up, and he shows too much of the ball to the defender. Having said that, what I did like about Jadon Anthony today, he looked hungry. There was a couple of times where he took on a couple of players. He actually showed the confidence to do that, and that's not something that he showed a lot this season when he has played. He played off the right-hand side. I think he's a lot better off the right than he is off the left, because he is very right-footed. Having said that, there was still just a couple of moments where he could have scored. He could have done something, and he didn't quite seize the opportunity. I liked some of the play he had, some of the dribbles, some of the take-ons, some of the touches, but then again, he did just have moments of liability in him. There was one time where he touched the ball off the pitch. There was another time where he completely stacked it. I don't know what they were doing with this short corner. He stacked it, and then they had a beautiful counter-attack, and Archie Gray made a last-ditch challenge. But overall, not getting on his back too much. He hasn't had a lot of game time, but I thought he featured well, and I thought it was worth talking about because I want to know what you guys think about that down below. But what I really wanted to get into is the situation of the transfer market, and we've seen it today. Archie Gray has come off injured. We need to make signings. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear fans saying, I'm happy with the squad as it is. I don't want to hear the owner saying, I'm happy with the squad it is. I don't want to hear Fark saying, we're happy with the squad as it is, because before the transfer window, we're all saying, bring signings in. Our squad has got weaker. We lost 2 right backs and we've signed 0. We have got weaker than what we had before. We were all in agreement that our squad needed strengthening, and we've somehow made it weaker, and people are trying to cope, trying to do sip some copium and say that that's fine. It's not fine. And you know what makes it not fine? Because one player goes down, one player gets injured, and everything looks completely different. You realise how thin our squad is, and you see it today. Who comes off injured? The guy who's been playing right back for us all season. The guy who's not even naturally a right back, has been pushed into right back, has come off injured. So now we are 3 right backs shorter than we were this time a month ago. And you sat there and telling me we're happy with the squad? If we don't sign at least 2 defenders, we are in dire straits. Centre half we might even need to sign, and a right back we definitely need to sign. Because Archie Gray, I don't know how long the injury is. Hopefully it's nothing too major, but he came off right at the end. Maybe it was just a muscle strain. Maybe he was tired. Maybe he was cramping up. I don't know exactly what it was, but he did walk off the pitch, which is somewhat promising. But we need to sign defenders. The way we've left it this thin is not good at all. Also, offensively, we can't keep missing chances like this. I know Norwich weren't clinical today and we got away with it, but we cannot keep going into games like this and missing this many chances. It will eventually come to bite us. Today we were lucky it didn't, but too many woeful chances. I thought Rutter, there was patches where he was really working his socks off today, Rutter. He really was. But there were just a couple of patches where he would take on 2 players and the third man would just get him. He was a bit unlucky. Usually, whenever he turns his body, whenever he turns and runs, he gets through everybody. But there were a lot of times today where people were clued onto it and he would get past 2 and the third man would just be there. Having said that, there were also moments where you thought the ball was away from him, bodied a man, flicked it through a man's legs. You couldn't get the ball off him at times. It was a very 50-50 game. I thought the last 20 minutes he really grew into his own and started to get the confidence going, and I thought he looked good. It was a great end to the game for him. Somerville as well, I thought went missing at patches, but really great into the game. Almost scored a rifle of a shot. Beautiful curler. And senior FIRPO, mate. I have to say, I know you're going to think I'm just talking, he's bandwagoning. No, FIRPO today was everywhere. Defensively, he was making vital interceptions. He was making vital blocks. Going forward, he was making great interceptions. Going forward, he was phenomenal. Some of the crosses he was putting in, the work rate down that left-hand side. FIRPO was an animal, and he almost capped off what was a brilliant performance with a goal. But fortunately, it was just hit past the post. I thought he was phenomenal. I even thought Gray was quality at right back today. I liked the way that we pushed them both forward. I like the way we dropped Gruev into to centre-back at times. Kind of had Ampadu playing wide left centre-back, and we had Rodon playing wide right, and and Gruev or Kamara in the middle. Kind of a 3 at the back, and then FIRPO and Archie Gray really pushed forward. FIRPO potentially even more, and I thought it worked phenomenally well. So shout out to Fark on that. Unfortunately, just a little bit profligate in front of goal. But let me know what you guys think anyway down in the comment section down below. What did you guys make of the game? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Do you think it was downright ugly? Or do you think we need to make some moves in the transfer market? I really want to know what you guys think about everything I just said down below. I will see you guys very, very soon. I'll see you tomorrow for some more South Stand signings. For now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.